But you know what they won't be jerking off to, at least not those guys, is
Yeah.
the Ubisoft battle royale
Yeah,
from
we gotta.
Apex inspired here. See, the thing is that this isn't hard, guys. This making these games isn't hard. As we saw with Marathon, you just snap open something that loosely sounds like it could be turned into a battle royale, hero shooter, looter shooter, pooper shooter, what do we want to call it? The
Pooper
Yeah, pooper
shooter.
shooter. That's coming. That indie game, pooper shooter.
I
You
was,
wait, it's
dude.
coming.
I was gonna go cider. You know, like just by the sheer fact that you've mentioned this, like an indie developer is right now making like a poop based FPS.
But they were starring the gay demon mall cops. And
That's who you're working for, of
that
course.
would be hilarious though if like it is like like Turd Watch and it's like the Overwatch parody, but everybody's a poop and they're all different styles of poops, and they're all just poops.
There's like a Mr. Hanky poop. There's like a Japanese like swirly poop. There's the poop emoji guest star crossover emoji movie too.
Oh my
Pooper
God, this is
76.
sounding like a Seth Rogen movie.
Exactly.
Oh, God.
He's probably working on it right now. Pooper Shooter would be the follow up to Food Party. It's what happened to everything that came out the other side.
God.
Oh
Oh, I'm
God.
surprised that is actually not a sequel. Stop doing this. You're just
Pooper Shooter.
you're just putting this out there. We're gonna get that announcement at like Comic-Con this year. Like Seth's gonna come out and go, "Oh, guess what? Pooper
Shooter.
Party."
Pooper Shooter. We liked your video game, so we turned it into a movie about poop.
Poop.
Hold it. It looks like 73% of you watching this aren't subscribed. Time to click that button. You know where to find it. Anyway, so as you know, Ubisoft and Tencent carved out not only Assassin's Creed, but also Far Cry and Rainbow Six, arguably the most profitable tentpole IPs that Ubisoft has right now. Rayman has fallen vastly off the side thanks to the Rabbids becoming the characters they pushed for so long. Not a lot of people recognize Rayman anymore. Of course, you and I do from the old days, but the folks that they really want to pitch to for a Rayman game, meaning people that are under 25, really don't know the character. He's made a few cameos, but
they know the character probably best from Adi Shankar. And I'm not being like, I mean that seriously, because Addy, the Devil May Cry Castlevania guy, for those who don't remember out there, he did a show called Captain Laserhawk, a Blood Dragon remix for Netflix, which was basically the emoji movie for Ubisoft, right? It was like a meta thing where all of their like franchises came together and they were fighting a big oppressive corporation, and Rayman was the boss of that corporation, and he spent all of his time sleeping with hookers and snorting cocaine and swearing very violent, like not violently, but like belligerently. So
wow.
It's an Adi Shankar show. What'd you expect? But that's exactly to your point, right? Like that's what they're gonna. That's who they. That's who they're gonna pitch to, and I know it'll work because I genuinely saw people in the tweets and stuff, all the discourse around Devil May Cry, people going, like people went, he keeps doing this. He did it with like the Castlevania guys. They did it with Dante, and then he also screwed up Rayman. And I saw so many people going like, but I thought that was funny. Like he hasn't been in a game for forever. I haven't played a game with him. Like what else is he doing? I thought that was funny. And I was just like, there you go. That's the strategy, right? Is just wait until people don't know, and then you can pass this crap off onto them.
So I had wondered what they were going to do with Ubisoft now that Ubisoft had been broken off from its IPs that made it Ubisoft. And I said, well, they're obviously not. Well, exactly. They haven't even named the company yet, so it's still a nebulous thing, and they still could be sued into bringing everything back anyway. So what I was trying to figure out is what is Ubisoft meant to do now? They didn't dissolve the company. No one has made any effort to like say to these people, prepare for impact. They're in fact telling the opposite is we don't know what's going to happen, but nothing bad's going to happen is what they keep telling everybody.
Well, I mean, like to your point, like just look at the Shadow stuff, right? They keep going, sales are great. We have all talked about this on this show, at least in the last couple months, between Marvel Rivals and Overwatch, right? Like this genre is fucking dead. You do not like Overwatch was barely hanging on. Lots of people have tried to do various sort of hero shooters or multiplayer shooters, or how do you put live service shooters? Let's put it that way. And all of them have basically collapsed. Marvel Rivals really, the reason it's doing so well is, yes, it is a genuinely good game in terms of like the hero shooter, but it would not have gotten that big of a foothold and be as big as it was without that Marvel brand. So I looked this up. Ubisoft doesn't do Apex Legends. Apex Legends is Riot. So what this headline means, because I was confused too, they're trying to make a game like Apex Legends, right? And so to me, I'm going, what are you doing? You are trying to make a new game in a genre that's dying, that your main competitor is going to be a Marvel like licensed product, and you're just trying to recreate what another studio has already done.
And so that's why I think they stripped out their tentpoles, is in order to
Right.
move into being an esports company. Because if you look at their global apparatus, they have the ability to become like a. So to make this quicker, my adopted internet daughter, she works for an esports company as a coach. Believe it or not, esports is a real thing. I have mixed feelings about it, because in my mind I'm like, the old man in me is like, I don't want kids to aspire to sit around all day, but I understand that it's not sitting around all day. But when I look at it, it's kids sitting around all day, and I know that's not what's actually happening. But my old man brain is like, go outside with a stick, god damn it. You know,
it is the disconnect, because even with my like super video gamed brain, I'm like, is it, what are we doing here?
If you remember, chess used to be very important to the European world. Chess was a diplomat's game. It was the game.
It was RG Gundam.
Well, yeah, it was how kings would sort of, work out who was the dominant between the two of them without stabbing one another or having a war, that sort of thing. And similarly in Japan, the game Go in Japan played a similar role, and Go would attract similar crowds that chess would attract. Where we departed from our traditional ways here in the West to embrace corporatism, consumerism, an ism of your choice. Really, spin the wheel of isms, it's one of them, or all of them. And we just broke off from this tradition of appreciating cerebral sports. We are more into the test of strength and test of willpower, as opposed to the test of strategy. Now, don't get me wrong. There's strategy in football. There's strategy in all sorts of our physical competitive sports. When it comes to gaming, all you have is strategy. So that's what I'm trying to emphasize. So these cerebral games fall to the side with us. Now, add to that video games are on top of it, which is a entertainment form that we, even now, our generation, having grown up with them, still regard as a children's medium of entertainment. And so, yeah, we're going to have a huge problem in trying to legitimize this.